The 1-0 pitch. High pop foul back out of play.
Merker has not used his breaking ball or his off-speed pitch against Pratt because he was just trying to get the ball over to second base his last time up. But when you don't play every day, the pitches that give you the most trouble are breaking balls and straight change-ups. You just don't see enough of them in batting practice.
Fastball outside. It's 2-1. Cleveland and the Yankees 2-2, bottom of the fifth. We're about to bring you all the scores, I'll bet. Pratt doesn't get the fastball. 2-2 the count. Larry Boa coaches at third. Mel Roberts at first for the Fighting Phil.
2-2 count. Good time for a breaking ball or a changeup to get a ground ball from the catcher and a possible double play.
Couldn't get the high fastball. Merker records his third strikeout of the night. And Mickey Morandini will hit.
He came right back after him with the hard stuff. Pratt couldn't catch up, and he stayed with the fastball, and maybe he can get a ground ball or coax a ground ball out of Morandini, who runs pretty well and gets out of the box well.
Braves play him around toward left field. If he pulls the ball, a run might score. Chamberlain is chased back. He has no stolen bases this year. Chamberlain, one of these great big heavily muscled guys. You think he might pull a muscle every time he runs hard. He looks like a football fullback. He's really put together. 0-1 the count.
I used to think the same thing about Bo Jackson when I first saw him in a baseball uniform. I wondered how in the world he kept from pulling those enormous leg muscles he had.
Double play ball, maybe. 6-4. Yep. And that's that. One hit. No runs, no errors, and nobody left. Bottom of the fourth. 1-0.
Here's the real beauty of Rust-Oleum protective coatings. A tough barrier against the elements. Rust-Oleum, the name that means protection.
Fasten your seatbelts. Because 94 Fleer Ultra Baseball has more goals, more photos, and more incredible inserts featuring superstars and hot rookies. There's one insert card in every pack. Fleer Ultra, better than ever.
We inspect the porcelain on steel surface for durability, check the triple burners to heat evenly, and the patented flavorizer system for versatility. We test every gas valve and gauge for accuracy, and even evaluate the swing-up tables for maximum utility. The Weber Gas Barbecue. Of all the testing, examining, and retesting that goes into it, the true test is what comes out of it. If it's Weber, it's great outdoors.
It's a major breakthrough in auto protectant technology. Formula 2001 Super Protectant. It provides a more brilliant, longer-lasting shine than Armor All on vinyl and leather. And look, in the Arizona desert, Formula 2001 brought back the shine to UV-faded vinyl. Rubber, even leather. Get the new standard in automotive protectant technology. Formula 2001, with 50% more active shining ingredients than Armor All. Get Formula 2001 products today.
Here's that scoreboard update for you. Colorado beat San Francisco 4-2 today. Howard Johnson hit his fourth home run. No score at Florida. Mets and Montreal are tied. Brett Saberhagen on the mound. St. Louis got 3 in the first. Todd Zeal hit a home run. No scores yet from Los Angeles or San Diego. They'll get underway later on, and we'll give you some American League scores as we go along.
Well, Ryan Klesko leads off the bottom of the fourth. 1 ball, no strikes. Ryan struck out on a breaking ball his first time. 1-0 Phillies. That's your score. He had a good cut, but he fouled it back, and it evens it up to 1-1.
Much better swing there than he had in the first inning. That one was loose and went right after the pitch, tacked it.
Johnny Padres and Jim Fregosi were not feel good about the way Boskie has started this game. He has been most impressive to this point. 2-1 the count. He pitches a good game. The Cubs fans will go berserk. Into short right center. Who wants it? That's it. One away.
His last outing might have been a prelude to what we're seeing tonight. He was pitching in relief. As you look at the American League scoreboard, and by the way, for Boston tonight, they started a youngster they just called up, Gar Finvo. Got the start for the Sox tonight. Scott Cooper's also homered for Boston. Tettleton is homered for Detroit. The game's just underway.
First the pitch from the Griffin. How about a Gar Finvo Damon Berryhill battery? A few letters to throw after. By the way, the Hawks lead 31-25 after a quarter. Kevin Willis has 13. Low and inside.
That last outing, he was working against the Florida Marlins. Boskie worked 5 shutout innings in relief. He had just 1 hit, no walks, had 4 strikeouts. Kind of a tune-up for tonight.
Shot to short. That should be easy. Duncan right over the bag. 2 down. This guy's like a pitching machine. 6 in a row set down. Braves have had only 2 base runners. Here's David Justice. But 1 long one, and we're tied up.
Be interesting to see how he is doing after the 5th inning. You know, he's not getting regular work. 5 innings, the longest anyone has pitched out of the bullpen for the Phillies this year, and maybe Fregosi and Johnny Padres only looking for 5 or 6 strong innings out of him tonight.
But you love getting to their bullpen. They don't have Mitch Williams anymore. David West has been ineffective. Larry Anderson's on the disabled list. Those were the mainstays of their bullpen a year ago. 0-1 the count. Curve, tap foul, and ahead of another hitter. It's 0-2.
Looks like he's throwing a lot of first pitch fastballs for strikes, getting ahead in the count, and then making the left-handed batters swing at breaking balls, change-ups that are moving down and away from them.
The 0-2. There's that change-up, and it just about missed the corner. A ball and 2 strikes. Mark Lemke waits to hit next. Two and 2. 1-4-0 for the Phillies. 0-1-0 for the Braves. That hit a looping liner to right by Charlie O'Brien a couple of innings ago.
Maybe tonight we'll see similar pattern for him.
That was a good swing, but he fouled it back. Still 2-2.
Got the ball out away from him a little bit on that pitch. David able to extend those arms. Had a good rip. The home run he hit last night, down and out over the plate.
But this time, just a weak chopper. Jordan boots it. And Justice reaches with 2 outs. He gave up on that ball a little quickly, didn't he?
Yeah, why didn't he recover and flip it over there? He had the pitcher covering. He acted like after the bobble here that he wasn't going to have a play, and he was not far from the bag. He looked up, just decided Justice was going to make it. You see Justice just now crossing the bag there in your picture.
And Boskie waiting desperately, awaiting a throw. Well, let's see if the Braves can cash in on the mistake. Mark Lemke walked his first time. Takes that pitch a little low. 1 ball, no strike. Sports Illustrated, or USA Today, rather, today had a big story about whether or not the ball is juiced.
Right.
According to them, it isn't, and I agree with them. I think it's perfectly simple what's going on. The strike zone is so small. I think that's the major thing. I think the bad wood and the light bats is the other thing, but the strike zone is the major culprit. Incaviglia is there, and the inning is over. Lemke hit that ball sharply. No hits, no runs, an error, a runner left. We've played 4, and the news is not good to this point. It's 1-0 Philadelphia.
1994 Atlanta Braves baseball on TBS has been brought to you by John Deere. Stop by your local dealer to see why nothing runs like a deer.
A little while ago in Horicon, Wisconsin, where they make John Deere mowers, everyone came out for something special. After all, the 2 millionth John Deere lawn product had just rolled off the line. Shear operator Don Carroll was there. His son Steve installed the engine. In fact, just about everyone in Horicon lent a hand. With so many people dedicated to making mowing your lawn a little better, it's easy to see why most people would rather own a John Deere if they could. And now, 2 million mowers later, they can. With prices starting at just $349, there's no reason not to stop into your John Deere dealer for a peek. Compliments of the people in a town called Horicon, at a company called John Deere.
You think this is a crash? That's not a crash. You want a crash, we'll give you a crash. Introducing Upper Deck's Crash the Card Sweepstakes. The grand prize winner will meet Ken Griffey and appear on his 95 baseball card. Just look for info on this and over 1 million other prizes on packages of Upper Deck's new Collector's Choice baseball cards. Many will enter, few will win.
We go to the 5th inning here. Strangeness again. If you've been with us all night, you remember back in the 3rd inning, there was a play at first base where McGriff tried to tag Duncan and missed, and Duncan apparently missed the bag, and no call was made. And then finally McGriff tagged the runner, and he was called out. Mark Fredrickson's a good official scorer, but he has changed that now to a hit, and then he's retired 3 unassisted. He says he won't know for sure until after he checks with the umpire. I don't understand that, but that's what has happened here.
He also cited some rule book interpretation that I'm curious about. But the fact is, he never reached the base. The play was never completed where you could call it a hit and then a putout. That was a continuation of one simple play and should have just been a simple 3 unassisted.
Mark's explaining it to Josh now, and we'll get that explanation in just a moment.
Yes.
Josh Berger is our statistician here up in the booth, and he's trying to get the information from us. Because we don't understand that. We just looked over at veteran Phillies announcer Harry Callis, and he doesn't either. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong. But
No, I'm just curious about his mention of a rule book interpretation, what that is.
3 balls and a strike. It's obvious that it's going to take Josh longer to explain it than we're going to be here, so Don and Ernie will have the answer for you. Well, that is not good news. The pitcher walks to start the 5th. That is asking for trouble. And nobody knows that any better than does Kent Merker. His 3rd walk of the night. Now you got to get Dykstra, Duncan, and Jordan, and Dykstra ripped the double off the right field wall his last time. Time is called now as Boskie wants a warm-up jacket. You don't see that played out of very often.
Beginning about June 1st, we won't see it for the rest of the year.
Well, hopefully we will in October.
Good idea.
Late October. Phillies ran out of material on their jackets, too. It seems to be a plague in the league.
I'm not sure why they don't send all the red material to one team and all the blue material to another.
Yes.
I noticed that
a little marketing ploy there, I think.
Notice the Dodgers had all blue jackets on. They got all blue material.
Well, they just shipped a little of it to the Phillies. Boy, he was right on that pitch and fouled it away. It's 1-1.
He's on the fastball. They're going to have to do something to set the fastball up a little better. They're going to have to throw him some breaking balls. And maybe Dykstra's figured out that Hint's not willing to throw him a breaking ball and hasn't for a strike yet, or at least not since the first inning. That was a type of setup pitch.
Here is the explanation we have to this point. This is a third hand. It has gone from the scorer to Josh to Kerry to us. If you overslide the base, you must immediately return to touch the base. So they are saying that they think Duncan touched the base. But that's not true at first base.
No, it's not. No.
He says that's a rule book interpretation.
She could roll all the way down the right field line at first base. Doesn't matter.
That would mean that if you legged out an infield hit and ran 20 feet down the line, that all you had to do was tag the runner coming back to the base, and that's...
Or if you stepped on the bag and stumbled and fell and rolled, that you got to immediately get up and run back to back. That's not the case.
Dykstra fouled a high breaking ball away. He's a little upset with himself. He had a good pitch to hit there. Well, on our way over to radio, I will stop and visit with the score.
Confer.
It'll be like 2 tons of fun. See what happens.
Tag team.
They made him look bad with that pitch. Dykstra's out of there. 4th strikeout for Merker.
Let's see if he got him with a fastball here on the outside part of the plate instead of inside. He did. Good spot. Dykstra tried to pull it. Couldn't reach it.
Mariano Duncan has flied to center, grounded to first.
That's right. He did not get a base hit. He grounded to first.
Well, I'm not going to change that. I'm betting that they will change it again. Huh? If not, we'll be on radio. Might be 2. That's exactly what it is. Second of the night for Atlanta. Belliard and Lemke turn it over. No hits, no runs, no errors, nobody left. We've played 4.5. It's 1-0 Phillies.
TBS presents your Sunday night mystery date. A gorgeous, wealthy new client.
I like older men. Always have.
A dangerous infatuation.
I mean, ethically, we're on very thin ice.
And a hot proposition.
You know what I've been dying to do all evening?
Can Matlock keep his cool?
But you could be disbarred.
The Suspect. The Matlock Sunday movie. Sunday at 7 Eastern on TBS.
You know what really gets under my skin?
Your boss?
No, my athlete's foot. Say this is my foot. Athlete's foot doesn't just happen from between my toes. It grows down in here, just below the skin's surface. That's why I use Mycotin. Mycotin's serious stuff. It penetrates to kill the fungus where it grows. With Mycotin, I don't just get relief, I get cured. When athlete's foot gets under your skin, get Mycotin. A cure that gets in.
You'd be surprised what a BMW convertible is going for these days. The new 318i.
All right, Don Sutton, Ernie Johnson with you from Atlanta. We're going to the bottom of the 5th, and Sutton, that Boskie's showing us a little bit. Maybe they can do something this today.
He's throwing a good fastball, Ernie. He's changing speeds well. Now, the Cubs gave up on him, I think, as a starter because they thought that his role was better in relief. Last year he pitched well in relief. His last outing, a good one in relief. But the Phillies, who right now are desperate for pitching, are probably getting more than they were expecting out of Shawn Boskie. I know the Braves are getting more than they expected out of him.
Merker's also pitching well. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. Still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-0 deficit for the Braves.
I see my friends are here, and I certainly was hoping they'd get better seats, and I understand movements like this have to start small, but it is a beginning. And we do appreciate all those very intelligent folks being at the ballgame tonight.
Way to go, Scott. You'll have the banner underneath us tomorrow night. Here we go with Charlie O'Brien catching tonight. Single the first time up in the pitch. That's a little bit low. Belliard to follow. And then Kent Merker. He's trailing 1-0. He's allowed 5 hits. Boskie has allowed only 1. Good change. He's got a split finger fastball. That's a changeup.
He's shown 3 really good pitches tonight, Ernie. A fastball that tails away, the change, and a good sharp little breaking ball.
Drill, but foul to left. Boy, that had the distance. O'Brien pulled it. Charlie now hitting 5 straight games. On that play at first base by the umpire that everyone's talking about, I just think he forgot he was at first base and thought he might have been at home. There's a pop foul out of play because if you touch the base...
Unless you make a turn and then attempt to go to second, which he did not do. He was sprawled on his face down there.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he just lost sight of where he was right there and should have called him out as soon as McGriff stepped on the bag.
If he missed the bag, that's all he should have done.
That's our story, and we're sticking
to it. Get the drive, left field. This ball is out of here. We're tied 1-1 on Charlie O'Brien's homer.
I think the Braves got him for his defense and what he could add, too, but his offensive surprise, if you're going to come in on Charlie O'Brien, you better get it in there. That one right on the inside corner. He flew open, got the head of the bat out there, and with one swing of the bat, we got a new ball game.
And here's another long ball hitter, Rafael Belliard. He almost hit a homer this year. That's all the talk was about the juiced-up baseball. Still talking about it.
New category in the Braves notes. They got home runs, doubles, triples, and for Rafael, almost homers. AH, and he has 2.
Well, I'd love to see him hit one day. Fouled away. Merker's on deck. Home runs are up, by 40% or so, but it's all whether the ball is juice. Some think it is. Others think the pitching is poor. They have a point. And they're talking about going to the weight. All players are stronger. And there's the strikeout. What's good about it? You're talking baseball. Here's Ken Merker grounded out the first time up. Don't get them Hawks. They were leading. We'll keep you posted on that game. Merker's not a bad hitter. Down low. Hit the ball sharply to short the first time up. I'm supposed to call it a business person special tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay, 12:35 we're on the air.
Business person special. And the thing you run over in the street is a person hole company.
Down low, 3-0. We are going to be politically correct. If it kills us. Merker will take this. Through there, 3-1.
They found a new strain of wild animal in India now called a person-eating tiger.
That ball is high, and Merker worked it for a walk. Now Deion Sanders with a runner at first.
That's the second walk of the night for Boskie. That equals his total for the whole year. One thing that he has done is he's had excellent control. Only 2 base on balls in 22 innings coming into the ballgame.
Deion Sanders with a lot of the blue socks showing. Some of the players doing that. Same way that Bedrosian wears his uniform. Great to see Kyle and Cody Bedrosian throw out the first ball.
Yeah, that was a pretty emotional moment for all of us, but I know you've known Steve for a long time, and you've known the family for a long time, and I think that was a great, great touch. There he is. As excitable as he always is.
Foul away. Ball players are so superstitious that one of them gets 2 or 3 hits tonight. They'll be back with those dark socks tomorrow, too.
And if Boskie keeps throwing like this, though, and can make it as difficult, you'll see them all wearing them like George Hendrick tomorrow.
Yeah. Merker's off first with 1 down on a run in on a homer by Charlie O'Brien. Deion is 0 for 2. Driven to left field, but it's going to be caught by Incavilla. That's 3 fly balls tonight by Deion. Sox haven't helped him yet. Indiana trailing Atlanta 44-38 with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Atlanta 44 and Indiana 38. Now Terry Pendleton. I'll make Terry wear those socks. The rest of the year I'll just go down and tell him, boy, Terry, you look taller.
That'll do it for him and for Lemke.
And Lemke. A little pop that should be handled by Morandini. And it is for out number 3. But Charlie O'Brien, homer to left. We're going to the 6th inning. It's a new game. 1-1.
Business, there never seems to be enough of it. And the last thing you can afford to do is run out of it. Time. So rest assured, Delta Airlines will help you make the most of it. With over 4,900 flights a day to over 300 cities around the world. And best of all, we'll make sure you arrive relaxed and refreshed with plenty of time to spare. Delta Airlines.
Check in late.
Get up early?
Little coffee?
Get all the essentials at Holiday Inn Express hotels. A comfortable room, free local calls, and a fast free breakfast. Holiday Inn Express. A different kind of Holiday Inn hotel.
What would you do with a Motorola pager?
Okay, you got the pager number, right? Right. Okay. Just one other thing. Now, just everybody.
Okay, let's go.
Ready to go?
Motorola pager gives you the peace of mind to do the things that are important to you. We're going out. The affordable portable Motorola pager.
Steel, the #1 selling brand of chainsaws worldwide, also makes a full line of trimmers, specially priced in steel territory, starting at $79.95.
What tire do you trust in the wet? A tire that removes over 2 gallons of water per second from under the tread. The all-season MX-4. Another engineering splash from Michelin.
1 apiece in the 6th. Time for our Aflac trivia question, and there it is. Since the Phillies are in town, do you know which former Philly homered in 3 consecutive ABs as a pinch hitter? Well, we'll have the answer for you a little bit later on.
Ricky Jordan will lead it off. He has singled, got a sac fly. Merker now in a 1-1 game. Top of the 6th inning. That bounced up. That'll be a ball, even though it went across the plate. 1 ball, no strike. And if it bounces up and hits the batter, it's a hit batsman. Many people ask that. It hits the ground first, is it still a hit batsman? Yes. Driven to left center field deep. Deion is back there watching it go out of here. And just like that, it's 2-1 as Jordan hit it over the left center field wall. Boy, he's had a good night, and it's not over.
He's showing some of the power they have always thought he had and was going to exhibit. A guy like him, the book is, do not let him extend his arms. Watch how fully extended he gets. And Merker knew. He knew there is something about the sound of the ball coming off the bat. Sound of the bat, if you're 60 feet away, you know when they're gone.
Hollins takes low. So the lead didn't last long, did it? Still anybody's game, 2-1 in the 6th. Hollins has walked twice. He's on his way to walk number 3. It's 2-0. Strong switch hitter. He's had a career against Atlanta, batting .345. Low. 3-0. Waller starts throwing in the Braves bullpen. The Phillies have had no problem scoring runs. They've scored more runs this year. Leo Mazzoni's going to the mound. The Phillies have scored 156 runs coming in. The Braves 143. But the Braves pitching staff has only given up 94 runs coming into today's game. The Phillies pitching staff has given up 157. So you don't have to be a genius to realize that the Phillies offense is okay. Their pitching has been weak, and so has their defense. They've made a lot of errors. So they know where they've got to shore up. It's just a matter if they can get the players. The meeting is over. Hollins the batter with Incaviglia on deck. And there's ball 4. Ricky Jordan, you saw him in the dugout, has just made it a 2-1 game.
4 walks by Merker, 3 of them to Hollins.
Incaviglia struck out and fouled to the right fielder.
That's some clutch pitching to Incaviglia in the first inning by Kent Merker. With runners at first and second with 2 outs, and he just blew high heat right on by Incaviglia. Nothing fancy. Didn't run the risk of getting a trick pitch over the plate that was hit. He went top of the strike zone, fastball up and away and right on by. No reason to adjust, Ernie. If a guy's showing you he can't handle something, you're doing him a favor if you make a change, and Merker didn't in the first inning.
Especially at that time in the first inning, it was a little it was in sunset, twilight, hard to see the fastball. Bobby Cox was on his way out, and he might be hurting.
I had a feeling that trip to the mound that Charlie O'Brien made was one he didn't want to make, and Merker knew he didn't want to make it, but it was just buying time so that Wohlers could get ready. If he had been hurt, Bobby Cox would have gone by home plate error, and you can see Merker not real happy with the call. Time now for the Motorola Pagers call to the bullpen, and we'll be right back.
What would you do with a Motorola pager?
Never miss a meeting.
What would you do?
Mom's at home. Pager.
What about you?
All right, you got the pager number right?
We're
going out. Cool, this works.
What would you do? You could go anywhere, do anything, and still keep in touch with the people you want to keep in touch with. So what are you waiting for? Get the pager. It's affordable, it's portable from Motorola.
If it's time to do a little groundbreaking, don't go at it the old-fashioned way. Tear through it with a garden claw from Garden Weasel.
Just position it like this, and you'll be ready to cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed.
The hardened steel tines rip through tough soil with just a twist of the comfort grip handles, even in heavy clay.
And it comes with a 100% lifetime guarantee.
So if you've got a tough job ahead of you, tear through it the easy way with the Garden Claw.
From Garden Weasel.
The Garden Claw is available at Kmart, Walgreens, Sears, and participating True Value Hardware. Makes a great gift.
Kent Merker's night is over. Bobby Cox there to give him a pat on the back. But if you've ever been around starting pitchers or pitchers of any kind, you know there are times to say things and times to leave them alone. Most pitchers taken out of a ball game like that need a few minutes to collect themselves, and if you're around them, the best thing you can do is Let them get it over with. Let them collect themselves and maybe give them a couple of minutes and then go say, nice job, because Kitmacher did have another nice outing.
Mark Wohlers is a new pitcher. He's showing a lot of dark sock, too. Right-hander. There you see his numbers. There's a good fastball, there's a breaking ball, and a split finger fastball. He'll face Incaviglia. With a runner at first, Hollins, and nobody out. Jim Fregosi is the manager of this ball club, and he has a distant relative, Dr. Albert Fregosi, looking in, lives here in Atlanta. Big Braves fan. Incaviglia had a good year last year. Incaviglia started his career in the American. There's a foul right underneath it.
And that because he was drafted #1 by the Montreal Expos and refused to go up there. So Texas ended up trading a couple of young pitchers to Montreal for the rights and then signed him, and he went right straight from college to the big leagues.
Didn't like snow.
Did not like cold weather. Nor 9 taxes.
Blowing away on a breaking ball. 2-1, Philadelphia. They're under 500 the last few years here at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. They played the Braves tougher in Philadelphia. On deck, it doesn't get any easier. Chamberlain, who is 2 for 2. There's a breaking ball up a little bit, and he got away with it. 1-2. Maddox pitches tomorrow against Kurt Schilling. Kurt Schilling and Tommy Green, two of their bellwethers last year, have not won a game this year to this point. Doesn't seem possible. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Phillies 12-19, 7.5 back of the Braves. Wohlers with a 1-2. Runner going, bouncing ball. It's going to be in a left field base hit. They've got runners on the corner. They send a runner. Belliard moves over to take the throw, and Incaviglia bounced one right through the hole.
Braves guessed wrong on their coverage on that, Ernie. It's a hit and run. A lot of times with a right-handed pull hitter up, you'll have the second baseman cover, but that time it was Belliard on the coverage. Pendleton, a long way up from the line, almost made another one of his spectacular plays, but after the ball got to the outfield, you knew Hollins was going to make it to third. There was nobody there to cover.
Now Chamberlain with 2 hits last night. He has 2 tonight. He is now 8 for his last 12. This guy seems to have gotten his act together after starting out poorly with the Phillies a couple of years back. Drives it foul off to the right.
Another steal, excuse me, Ernie, another steal by General Manager Lee Thomas. He was put on the, I think he's put on the waiver wire, so they were going to send him out, and Thomas spotted it, done by Pittsburgh, and got him and a couple of other players for Carmelo Martinez.
And the pitch to him, hits safely to first. 1 out, safe at the plate. McGriff got the out at first, but Hollins beat the throw to the plate. 3 unassisted RBI.
Off the end of the bat, right down toward first. McGriff steps on the bag. If the throw is the third base side, they got him. But Charlie O'Brien had to make the full circle turn. Watch where the throw ends up. By the time he gets the throw down, no chance. Got an out. The Phillies got a run.
Incaviglia made it down to second. Now Pratt, the catcher. Dalton not catching tonight. Left-hander going. Strike call. Dalton played last night against Avery. Pratt has grounded out and struck out. 2 runs have scored at 3-1. Breaking ball outside. Morandini is on deck. Phillies the National League flag last year, as you know, beating out Atlanta, then lost to Toronto in the World Series. Lost several key players in the offseason. That is over. One out. The fastball is right on past it. It's 2 down. Morandini, the batter, and they'll walk him.
Phillies haven't capitalized on all their opportunities tonight, Ernie. The home run by Jordan helped. The sacrifice fly obviously helped, but they're only 1 out of 13 with men on base, so that's taking advantage of some opportunities. Like you said earlier, though, they find a way to score runs.
Got a good offense. And that pitch is outside. Morandini is purposely fast to get to the pitcher. Now, this guy's not a bad hitter. He started out as an infielder, and he's got a infielder or an outfielder swing. He just missed one the first time up. He skied to left. He had a great cut on it. He walked in the 5th, so don't sell him short. Those guys that turn from infielders or outfielders to pitching, they don't forget how to hit. 2 out.
It's still a move I would make, though, Ernie, in a 3-1 ball game. Maybe 1-1 or up by 1. Maybe take a shot at getting out Morandini and let the pitcher lead it off or early in the ball game. But right now, you've got to play the percentages, and this is the best one.
There's a bounce to the 3rd, and Pendleton throws him out. But the Phillies pick up 2. 1 a home run by Ricky Jordan. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Atlanta trailing by 2.
Like your car's dead, bud. I ain't the car, Earl. It's the battery. And you got to give me a shove. About 25 miles an hour. I'll start her up. Remember, 25. 3, 4, 25.
Advance Auto Parts has batteries that give you extra cold cranking amps for extra starting power when you really need it.
24, 25.
Seattle, average rainfall 39 inches. Phoenix, average high 103 degrees. Minneapolis, average low 7. Every year, Anderson windows and patio doors stand up to the harshest sun, the coldest wind, the hardest rain. So much for the law of averages.
I'll get a headache just from tension and strain and stress.
My daughter does help contribute to my headache.
You clenching your teeth.
My back gets tired in between my shoulders.
I had headaches a lot.
Introducing Extra Strength Tylenol Gel Tabs. All the power of Extra Strength Tylenol, made with an innovative patented gel coat technology. They work hard on your toughest pain.
It does look high-tech.
The gel tabs are strong enough to take my pain away. It works fast for me.
They did the trick.
Tylenol Gel Tabs, the newest form of powerful pain relief.
Works.
Phillies up by 2, bottom of the 6th inning. Time for us to refresh your memory as to what the Affleck trivia question answered. Former Philly homered with 3 consecutive ABs. Who was it? Del Unser in 1979. He's still with the organization. Unser starting his 5th year as the Phillies director of player development. He was a good pinch hitter.
Brian Quesco leads it off. We move to the bottom half of the 6th. The Hawks are leading at halftime 53-47. Willis with 13 and Ogden with 12. Speaking of the Hawks, you can still buy tickets for Thursday's game at any Ticketmaster outlet or call 249-6400 or 1-800-326-4000. Let's fill up the Omni. Here's Klesko. Struck out, flied to center. Boskie with a 2-run lead now. Foul away. McGriff is on deck. Well, the Braves got their hitters up to do something about that 2-run deficit. The Phillies have 7 hits. The Braves only 2. Atlanta won last night 7-2. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Maddox pitches tomorrow against Kurt Schilling. Thursday's off. That is a strike, says Jerry Lane. The Braves are going to go to New York, Cincinnati, and Colorado. See a little bit of the country on the next road trip. Klesko waits in the 1-2 pitch. He tried to jam him 2-2.
That travel schedule, a product of the balance schedule.
Giants lost today to Colorado. They've had their problems. Popped him up out to second base. Let's see who makes the play. Morandini. 1 down.
Boy, Boskie is doing a good job of using his fastball to get ahead in the count, making good pitches with it. But Ernie, if he gets behind, he's not just laying it in there. That time he threw the changeup to Klesko. He's used his breaking ball to righties and to lefties. He has pitched himself one heck of a ball game to this point, and I don't think the Phillies will let him go too far to unravel this one. As long as he's pitching well, he'll stay there, but he's got him to where they'd like to be, that in the heading toward the 7th inning.
McGriff hits it foul, and it hit the first base umpire, Jeff Kellogg, who was in foul territory. Boy, he took a sock down there. Morales goes over to check with him.
Take a look at this. This actually took a severe bite out of Kellogg. It was one of those that just seemed to keep following him. Regardless of where he went, it tracked him. Looked like it hit him pretty hard. But an umpire will never let you know if he's hurt unless something's broken.
No, he won't rub.
No. He may crawl into his dressing room afterwards, but he will never rub it.
Foul away. It's killing him, but he's not going to do it. He won't rub. Justice is on deck. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Braves going for their 20th win. He sawed him off. Is it fair? Yes, it is. And out number 2 is registered as McGriff. Hit one slowly to first, and the pitcher grabbed it. Now David Justice, who's lined to right, and he's coming in.
Not a lot of strikeouts, so Boskie's proving you don't have to strike out 9 or 10 a game to get your ball club ahead. You just have to pitch ahead in the count. You have to throw strikes and make good pitches.
Justice 0 for 2, and the first pitch is a let-up in there, 0-1.
Give Todd Pratt some credit with calling a heck of a ball game tonight, too, because I can't remember Boskie shaking him off.
Down low on a split finger.
It is such an easier task, Ernie, pitching when you're in sync with that catcher and when he's calling you a good ball game, because that eliminates a great part of your job that you have to worry about. You can focus so many energies on just delivering the pitch. It's the first time I've seen him shake off a couple.
1-1. Just missed. That's a let up. Oh, pitching coach once said if you can get your breaking balls over when you're behind in the count, you've got half the battle won. In other words, when there's 2 balls and a strike, throw a curve or a slider. The Rosen starts warming up. Curves or sliders rather than a fastball when you're behind the count.
What Steve Avery was telling you in the pregame show you did with him on radio, that he's gone to a little bit shorter breaking ball, and that's the reason right there, so he could throw it for a strike whenever he wanted to.
Change 2-2. Justice unhappy with himself. 2 outs, 3-1 Philadelphia. The Fightin' Phils. They used to call them the Whiz Kids in 1950. One of them was Richie Ashburn. They won the pennant that year, the Yankees. Beat them 4 straight in the World Series. They had a good ball club. The Yankees were better. Boy, some of those old New York Yankee teams. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Popped him up foul. It might make the seats. Let's watch it. Just out of play. Hollins was over there if it stayed in.
Was that the time that Stan Lapata was catching for the Phillies? One of the most unusual batting stances I've ever seen.
Like he was sitting down.
Yeah, right-handed hitter that would just kind of pull up a chair and having it bat.
Randy Hamner and Eddie Wakefield and Jim Constanti was their big relief pitcher, one of the first palm ball pitchers. Robin Roberts, Bert Simmons, they had some good players. Foul away.
See what Boskie's changeup has done now. When he could throw that for a strike to start David Justice off, he threw it 2-1 to even the count 2-2. Now all of a sudden his fastball appears quicker, and he's run a couple by David Justice upstairs. There's not too many people in the league when Justice is looking for a fastball that can just reach back and fog it by him. But Boskie has set it up to make it very effective.
The Yankees were in the World Series 14 of 16 years from 49 to 64. I mean, you've taken for granted that, hey, the Yankees will be in the American League. Who's going to win the National? That's when they had 8 teams in each league. Each league, I should say. Here's the pitch. A little pop toward left center. Dykstra got it. He doesn't miss many. His speed, and he just outran the ball. We have played 6, 3-1, Philadelphia.
Pardon me, where are you going with all that Bud Light?
For the Lee family reunion.
Then I'm here for the Lee family reunion.
You're a member of the Lee family.
Yes, I am.
Right this way.
你是李中的老大。Sure, I just sure.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
你真有点像他。
Now that you've got that great new Chrysler Corporation vehicle, you want to keep it great, right? Well, then you should always insist on maintaining it with genuine Mopar parts, the only original equipment parts for Chrysler Corporation vehicles.
No.
So while you keep it looking great, we'll keep everything else great. Get this handy Mopar car care kit free when you get a tune-up for wheel balance and tire rotation. Plus, enter our new car sweepstakes.
If you think Sunday night means the weekend's over, hold on. The adventure is just beginning. National Geographic Explorer every Sunday night, 9 Eastern, only on TBS.
One of these hammers is jacketed in high-impact polycarbonate. The other one is broken. The fiberglass jacketed hammer from Stanley.
We're going to the top half of the 7th inning. Here's a Budweiser game summary. Phillies leading at 3-1. Jordan with a single, sac, fly homer, and 2 RBIs. O'Brien a solo homer, and Chamberlain 2 for 3 with an RBI. It'll be the top of the order for the Phils. Lenny Dykstra leads it off. Here's Doc.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. Merker started it, went 5+ innings, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 4 walks, all 3 of the runs charged to Kent Merker. Mark Wohlers came on after a homer to Jordan and a walk to Hollins. Gave up the single, but then got out Chamberlain, Pratt, and Boskie to end it. The 2 outs coming on strikeouts, one of them leading off a ball game in which Dykstra looked at 3 straight pitches. That's something you don't see him do too often. His first time up against a righty, and you know he's glad of that. He's hitting about 110 against lefties, doesn't waste any time. That could be extra bases. It's going to roll to the wall, and don't assume he's going to stop for 2. He's not. It's a leadoff triple.
They might give him a triple, but you know, if that ball was picked up on the first grab, he's probably got a double. As soon as he saw the outfielder, we'll have to play it back to see. I think it might have been Dion, but I'm not sure. Let's see who grabbed at the ball and then dropped it. It's in left center field. Klesko, he didn't drop it. It took a funny kick, and as soon as that kick was there, it'll go as a triple. As soon as the ball kicked away just a little bit, Dykstra just turned it on and went into third base.
Not a good start for the Braves here in the 7th inning. The infield is going to come in, and Mariano Duncan is the hitter. Fouls the first one away, and it's 0-1.
The wonders of replay, aren't they good? I mean, I swear that ball was fumbled just for a second out there, and it took a bad bounce away from Klesko, allowing the triple.
No balls and 1 strike. The breaking ball stays upstairs. It's 1-1. Duncan has flied to center, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play, and on the other one, we're not sure what he did at first base.
He was out.
We do know that. Looper to center. Could be deep enough. It's going to be a base hit. The throw to the plate after Dykstra had to go back and tag. Pretty good deep job by Deion Sanders, but it's going to be an RBI single on the blooper by Duncan. And the Phils open up a 3-run lead.
Deion plays a very deep center field. In other words, saying that he has a little trouble going back on a ball. And the result is on this little pop fly, it's a deke by Deion. And Dykstra took it. He went back and tagged and still beat the throw. But a little pop fly single and an RBI.
Ricky Jordan is the hitter. 2 for 2 officially. He has a sac fly. He has 2 RBIs. There's a strike. And it counts to Jordan 0-1. Duncan 2 for 2 when he tries to steal. You cannot just ignore him at first base. And Wohlers doesn't. Jordan, one of those guys, if you remember following the Phillies and the Braves playing the Phillies the last few years, he got a lot of at-bats against lefties, but not many against righties. Another throw to first. But this year, his year off to a kind of a strange twist. He's only 1 for 14 against lefties, and now with his 2 for 2 tonight, 13 out of 36, hitting about .350 against right-handed hitters. One of those things that's hard to explain. Make that 3 for 3. That could be extra bases. Duncan to third. Jordan has a double. And the Phillies come out with some artillery here in the 7th inning. 3 consecutive hits. Still nobody out.
This one had eyes to a certain extent. Bouncing ball. Just past the outstretched Pendleton, and Klesko came over and fired into third, but by the time he got the ball in, there were runners at second and third, and doesn't get any easier. Here's Hollins with nobody out.
Bedrosian will start to heat up. The infield will have to come in again. Hollins could have gone to bat without his bat tonight. He's been up 3 times. He's walked 3 times. He's scored 1 run. 4 runs, 10 hits, and an error for the Phillies. 1, 2, and 0 for the Braves. Upstairs, 1-0. Boy, pitching with the infield in, you know that they don't have to hit it very hard for it to find a way into the outfield. 2-0.
I just hated it when you could turn around and shake hands with your shortstop. I mean, that's a little close. And today, many times on artificial turf they're playing in, I mean, that ball can be hit through there with ease.
Well, you just check and see if your medical insurance covers dental work when you're an infielder and you're in on AstroTurf. You mentioned earlier how the Phils can put runs on the board. Remember, they're doing this tonight. 10 hits, 4 runs without Dalton and without Truck. Good fastball from Wohlers. That'll make it 2-1. Hollins was glad to see Wohlers come in. He gets 100 points higher against right-handers. And with runners in scoring position, hits about .375 this year.